Hello, my name is Frank Peters, and I'm here today to speak with Dr. Ken Foon about the essay that he wrote for the book The Big Casino. Hello, Dr. Foon. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Frank.
You speak about the evolution of cancer, and in the essay you also take us on a little tour from all the way back from the ancient Egyptians all the way to where we are today. Can you explain to us in a couple of sentences on how that evolution of cancer and cancer treatment has been up to now and where we are today?
Well, I started my training nearly 40 years ago. And at that time, we were, in fact, the monoclonal antibody technology, the hybridoma technology, was actually invented during my training. Okay. And Kohler and Milstein won the Nobel Prize for that. But that was the first truly targeted therapy. You make an antibody and it targets a tumor cell. And we knew then that was going to be magical. We didn't know how. We didn't know how we're going to get there. It was mouse antibodies. They're foreign proteins in humans. But we knew somewhere along the line that we had opened up a new door, a new avenue. And I moved to the National Cancer Institute from UCLA, and working with Bob Oldham, Ronald Herbermann, just incredibly talented people.
The smartest guys.
Smartest guys in the room, for sure. And we started to develop antibody therapies. Now, admittedly, initially it was just mouse antibodies being injected into humans. Mm-hmm. And what's the first thing the human immune system does? Sees foreign protein and rejects it. But we showed we could target it to the tumor cells. We added radioisotopes to the antibodies and showed we could image tumors. We added chemotherapy and toxins to the antibodies, and at least in animal models showed we could target these toxins directly to the tumor via the antibodies. Mm-hmm. And kill the tumor cells. So we knew we were onto something really important, but the technology wasn't there at that time. In the next few years, the bioengineering came along, and scientists, again, smartest guys in the room, using molecular biology, took these mouse antibodies and reworked them so they were predominantly human. Mm-hmm. And the only thing left was the binding region, which was mouse, and the rest of the antibody was now human. So it wasn't being rejected anymore.
What has it done? What has that done for patients? Let's say compared to when you started, and
so that's a great question, and that's and I think back. I remember I was at Pittsburgh. And I had this elderly gentleman. The ambulance brings him in. He's in his late 70s, lying in bed. Truly, someone I didn't think would survive more than a week or two. But it turns out the diagnosis was large B-cell lymphoma. And so I said to the family, who were absolutely distraught. They adored their father, these two young women, and the wife, and they're, absolutely distraught. And I said, the good news is that he has a large cell lymphoma, which we can treat. And theoretically, large cell lymphoma is curable. Now, putting your father, your husband, in this situation where he is bedridden, elderly, chances are very small that we're going to cure him. And chances are pretty small that he's going to actually leave the hospital. But we're going to give it a try. And lo and behold, this guy went into a complete remission. And I remember even a year, 2 years after he had been discharged from the hospital, this almost hostile daughters and wife, because they weren't really angry at me, they were just angry at the situation.
Yeah.
Were so adoring their dad, and thought I walked on water.
Yeah.
These are the kind of things you see now that we just rarely saw in the past.
Would you say that those patients have inspired you as well to energize you to go one step further in trying to further develop treatments?
Oh, absolutely. The saddest thing for an oncologist is when you have a patient, you can't do a thing for them. And and now we have so many other options. It's more, it's joyful. I can tell a patient and feel pretty good that I have another option that I think is really going to help them improve their quality of life and probably their overall survival.
Yes.
And that's really special.
Thank you so much for sharing this enthusiasm with us and showing to us that the patient really benefits and that the patients are also the ones that drive you and motivate you. Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. And I think that there's no question that all of my colleagues, every one of them that you'll talk to, will say the exact same thing.